right, in the next section, I would like to talk with you about the two different types of criminal cases that we deal with at the district court. All right, so when it comes to criminal cases, here in the state of Michigan, there are two different types of crime classes. There are felonies, so felony cases, and misdemeanors. Okay, now, felony cases are our most serious cases. So those are going to be your murder cases, armed robbery. Some of the most serious cases we have are going to be your felony cases. Misdemeanor cases are also serious. They're just not as serious as felonies. Now, most people don't even know the difference between the two, all right? But I'm going to give you students a tip that'll be easy for you to differentiate between what cases are felony cases and what cases are misdemeanor cases. Now, I'm sure that you've all heard on the radio or watched on TV when they've talked about a crime that's been committed, a TV report about it, and at the end of that report, the broadcaster says, and this person is now sitting in jail facing a crime with a maximum of 10 years in prison. Now, that's the number that you're looking for to tell whether a case is going to be treated as a misdemeanor or whether the case is going to be treated as a felony. The maximum amount of time that somebody can serve in jail or prison. Now, if that maximum is over a year, it's a felony. Over a year is a felony. If the maximum is a year exactly or less, that's a misdemeanor. Okay, let's run through that one more time. Over a year is a felony. A year or less is a misdemeanor. Okay, so let's walk through a couple cases. Now, I'm sure everybody's familiar with the crime of drinking and driving, all right, or using drugs and driving, all right? In the state of Michigan, that charge is actually, the legal name of that charge is operating while intoxicated. So if you hear operating while intoxicated or that someone's been charged with that, you know that's basically drunk driving. Now, operating while intoxicated, first offense in the state of Michigan, that carries a maximum of 93 days in jail. So students, is that a felony or is that a misdemeanor? It is a misdemeanor. 93 days is less than a year, and therefore it would be classified as a misdemeanor. Okay? Now, let's talk about a different crime. Someone breaks into a house. That charge is known as home invasion. Home invasion, first degree, is a charge that carries a maximum of 20 years in prison. Is that a felony or a misdemeanor? Felony or misdemeanor? That's a felony because it's over a year. Last time I checked, 20 is more than one. So it being over a year, it's going to be a felony. All right, so let's try one more to see if you've been paying attention. Let's talk about the offense of operating while intoxicated, second offense. Now, we already talked about the fact that operating while intoxicated, first offense is a 93-day misdemeanor. But students, as you'll find out, it's already a bad idea to break the law. But it's a particularly bad idea to break the same law a second time. Usually what you'll find out is that the penalties go up. And that's true for operating while intoxicated. Remember, the first offense is 93 days. The second offense, the maximum penalty is 1 year in jail. Is that a felony or is that a misdemeanor? Felony or misdemeanor? It's a misdemeanor, all right? For those of you who thought it was a felony, remember, for it to be a felony, it's got to be over a year. If it's exactly a year, it's a misdemeanor. So remember that, exactly a year or less is a misdemeanor, over a year is a felony. So the next time you're riding with your parents in the car and you hear a report of a crime that's been committed, or you see a news report, and at the conclusion of it, they indicate that this person's going to be facing a maximum possible penalty of 15 years in prison, you could say to your mom and dad, you know what, that's a felony charge. And if they say, how do you know that? You could say, I just know stuff. You don't even have to give me credit. You can own it all. But I want to make sure everybody understands the difference between felonies and misdemeanors. And we're going to move on to our next topic, and that is how somebody becomes a judge.